How's everybody today? Good. Well, we've had a couple good work days, and it's a difficult preparation. It's an important challenge for our team. Starting conference play against a very good team, challenging, good team that we're playing, and challenging preparation. So I like the attention to detail that our players have, and I like the way they've worked for 2 or 3 days this week trying to get ready for this game. And now we'll have a lot of mental practice, trying to get ready. As I told you, D. Milner was sick on Monday, was back in practice on Tuesday, practiced today. Didn't really, have any, problems or whatever. So, everything we've done to this point, whether it's, spring practice, off-season program, first 3 games of the season, summer conditioning, all these things, are really leading up to the opportunity to play in your conference and play conference games. So, as a team, we're, looking forward to the opportunity to do that. On the Deron Carter situation, there's one piece of information that we did not receive and have not ever received and may not ever receive. So as of right now, he has to be here a year in residence before he's eligible. So he'll still have 2 years to play after that, but as of right now, it doesn't look like he will be eligible for this season. Questions?
Coach, I know there's some things that you can only work out with live fire and actually playing a football game. I'm wondering what you've learned about your team so far this season, and maybe if you could highlight what you're most proud of going into conference play.
This team has had a pretty good sort of moral character about it in terms of the way they go about things, the work that they've done, the way they prepared for the season. And I think the way they've competed pretty consistently, for the first 3 games. I mean, we weren't up and down. We played hard, we played physical, we played tough. We didn't always execute perfectly, and there's certainly a lot of things that we need to work on and continue to improve on. But the intangible part of this team has been, good to this point. But the one thing we do need to do a better job of is have more consistency in execution, more faith, trust, and confidence in doing things the right way, and that will help you have success. And I think that comes with knowledge and experience and at some positions. And I think other players just have to be more focused on what they need to do to be successful and understand the importance of, doing things the right way. So when you do it right, you get pretty good consequences. When you don't do it right, you don't. And that's the thing that players have to focus on so that they can improve individually and we can improve collectively as a team.
Coach, tight ends have been a big part of the offense this year. Receiving the ball, how would you rate the way they've played so far?
Tight ends have done a good job. I think every position on our team can play better, and our expectation is that we will improve and play better. But the tight ends have played good. Brad has played very well. Practices well every day, has been a good special teams player for us. Michael Williams has done a really good job, blocking, had a few opportunities to catch the ball and has done a good job at that. And the backup players have continued to do, much better. Chris Underwood has contributed. So we have some younger players that continue to develop at that position that we feel, might be helpful to us down the road as well.
Coach, what do you see from a scouting perspective when you look at Arkansas?
From a scouting perspective? Well, first of all, Arkansas has gotten better and better every year on defense. They've got a lot of veteran players who have played a lot of football for them. They got a little bigger, a little more physical. They settled in and have a really good scheme in terms of how they play. They're very sound, and they've got some good playmakers on that side of the ball. And offensively, they've created, balance in their offense. They're truly a pro-style offense, probably one of the best passing offensive teams in the country, and have the right kind of players to do it. Really 3 or 4 really, really good receivers. Quarterback does a great job of executing the system. They're well coached. Bobby does a really good job, with them, and they're able to still run the ball effectively. So they've created tremendous balance, and they've been very productive and effective on special teams. So, you know, this is a good team all the way around. You know, there was a time when they were pretty good on offense, struggled a little bit on defense. You know, each year they've gotten progressively better on both sides, and I think they're a very good team this year.
There's been so much hype this week on your defense against their offense. Is it being a little bit overlooked, and possibly could your offense against their defense be what settles this game?
Well, I think that it's going to be all three phases of the game that settle the game. And, you know, since I don't read the paper or listen to the radio, I'm not aware of the hype, so I don't really know, you know, about that part of it. But from my perspective, you know, playing well on special teams, controlling the vertical field position, playing well on offense, not turning the ball over, scoring points, you know, taking what the defense gives, doing a good job on third down and in the red zone. Same thing on defense. You know, all those things are going to be critical factors in the game. You know, I just, you know, you all do a wonderful job of creating interest, you know, for fans, whether it's, you know, we could have 3 shutouts and we would still be getting, we don't have enough sacks. I mean, it's just something to write about. You know, I mean, give up 6 points a game for 3 games and got all kind of problems. All right, thanks.